Hi, this is Jana. Welcome to my kitchen. I was going to think spring, and deviled eggs is one of my son-in-law's favorite things, and his birthday is this week. And I was just thinking that I might share. That's one of my top questions that I've been asked a lot is, how do you make hard-boiled eggs? And I mean, I'm talking the last 40 years I've had, people ask me that. And so I've got cold water, and I've already turned my heat on. And this is a little egg timer. You can get them on Amazon. It's in my Amazon store. They're like $6 something. And I put that in with my eggs. My daughter Erin got that for me. Even though I don't need it, it's just kind of nice to have it. But you don't need to have it if you do what I share with you today. And so I've got baking soda. You can use the yellow box Arm & Hammer, but the Bob's Red Mill is actual baking soda. The other is an artificial in baking soda. And so I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of baking soda into my water. And then I'm going to bring this to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to shut off the heat and cover it. And as soon as that little egg is, it says soft, medium, or hard. As soon as it says hard boiled, then they're done, and then I drain them and cover them with ice water. And so you don't need to sit here and watch water boil. And so we'll be back as soon as this comes to a boil. I'm going to shut it off and then put the lid on it. Okay, welcome back. And you can see the little egg timer says that they are cooked medium. And so that was just about to come to a boil. Now I turned off the heat and I am putting the lid on. And we're going to time it for about 10 to 12 minutes. And then we're going to drain the hot water off, and then we're going to put cold water on. So we'll see you in just a minute. All right, there's our little egg timer. And it is indicating that they are hard eggs. See, it turned from red and yellow to all the way white. And so now I'm putting on my handy dandy little strainer. You can find this also in my Amazon storefront. Just one click and it's on its way to you. So I'm going to go ahead and drain these off, and I'm going to run cold water over them, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, I've got my eggs cooled down in the cold water, and I've already started peeling them. And you just completely go around the egg like this and shatter it. And then there's a little, I'm trying to show you, there's a little tiny membrane here. And you want to try and get underneath that and then peel your egg. A little bit of membrane right there. And that really helps to keep the egg intact. And the fresher your eggs, the harder it is. So try, if you know you're going to be making them for Easter, buy your eggs now and don't use them for anything else. Use your freshest eggs for your scrambled eggs or breakfast or baking or whatever. But use your older eggs for making hard-boiled eggs. And I just saved you a lot of time telling you that. I had a former restaurant owner friend, and we were cooking for our church a big bunch of potato salad, and we needed so many eggs, and I was using my fridge for other things, and so I bought the eggs that morning. Oh boy, did we have a heyday peeling all those eggs for potato salad when they were fresh. It took a long time. So I've got 4 eggs, and remember, when you're making these, you're going to double. So I'm making 4 eggs, which means I'm going to have 8 hard-boiled eggs, or deviled eggs, I'm sorry. So 4 eggs makes 8 deviled eggs. Easy for me to say. And there's that membrane. Get that off. Throw this away here. Okay, I've got my bowl here that I'm going to make the filling for. And I have my deviled egg tray. I'm not going to fill it up today, but I like a tray like this for storing them when I'm not going to use them right away, because they can stink up your refrigerator. And so you take your egg and find the halfway mark, and there is your egg. Perfect. And then you just I just kind of pull the side down a little bit. And you can't help where the yolk is in your eggs, but that's okay. I have never yet seen my son-in-law turn down a deviled egg because the natural egg yolk was on its side, close to the edge. See, that one's better. But that was nothing that I had anything to do with. That's just how the egg fell in the water. So I'm going to get these out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so my last egg. And I wanted to show you, when you don't boil them too hard, too long, like when it just comes to a boil, you can shut it off, you prevent, because if you boil them too hard, you're going to get a blue or green ring around that egg yolk. And it doesn't change anything, it's just, you know, appearance. And I've accidentally walked away or folding laundry or something and walked away without my timer reminding me, and I have done that. I mean, it is what it is, but it just doesn't look as nice. So there, get rid of that, don't need that. So before I add anything to my egg yolks, I smash them with a fork. Aren't those a beautiful yellow? Something popping in the background there. And so I mash them up. It's nice and smooth. Now I want to tell you that there is a million ways to Sunday to do this. You do it your granny's way, okay? Because I'm doing it the way I was taught, and you do it the way your family did it, okay? I don't need 19 million comments telling me I did it wrong. Everybody does things differently, and that's why we have these channels, is so we can learn from each other, okay? Now, there's that broken up. Now, this is optional. My family put in, because this is just a few eggs, so about a half a teaspoon of yellow mustard. Just gives it a little twang, as my daughter uses that word a lot, twang. Okay, now, this is really important. If you want to use sweet relish, if you want to use dill relish, that's your business. If you want to use grated onion, awesome. If you don't want to use any of those, awesome, okay? You put in what you like. You can put in diced jalapenos. That sounds awesome. There's so many things. Dill. Now, it's kind of a family joke, but add in your mayonnaise or your salad dressing, which is like Miracle Whip, which is sweeter. Some places in the north use Miracle Whip. Some places in the south use only mayo, Duke's mayo. I just happen to have this one open from sandwiches, so that's what I'm using. So I don't have to open a big, huge Duke's today. And see, if that's the way you like your deviled eggs, so they stand up, then that's how you add. I'm going to add just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more mayonnaise. And I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And if you have dill relish, you might not want to do that. And then a little bit of pepper. I added a tiny dash of paprika. My mom always used to put paprika on the tops. Okay. And so all you do is you take 2 spoons, you go through and you fill them up. Just like this. And I always make sure I go through and put some in every one of them, and then I go back through and add with what I have left. These are dipsy doodling over here. My son-in-law, like I said, this would be his portion right here. He loves them. So you make these your way, whatever size. You can put bacon in them, okay? You can put whatever you like in yours. That is awesome. But this is just the beginning on the basics, okay? Then you be creative. Tell me in the comments below how creative you can be with deviled eggs. And there's even restaurants that have like a whole menu of different types of deviled eggs. And then my mom used to go through and held it up real high, and then she put paprika on it. So thank you for stopping by Jana's Kitchen, and I hope you enjoy your deviled eggs.